Right, so this is a weird one. This is a very weird one to do. I haven't done a video in about 5 years, and we've got the Euros coming tomorrow. So you might be thinking, why am I doing a video on Moises Caicedo now? This has been on my mind for a while, and I've had various different arguments with my mates, still to this day, about Moises Caicedo, and this is even weirder. The fact I'm not even a Chelsea fan, but I felt this needed to be said because there's a lot of propaganda coming out from the media about Caicedo, and I think it's about time that we actually said it how it is, because I think there's so much talk in the media about Gallagher, about Caicedo being a flop. Long story short, I think Caicedo is an outstanding player. I really do. I think he is. I don't think, well, actually, I think Chelsea rate him. I don't think other clubs realise just how good this guy is. And let me just paint the picture for you. So he came in last summer for a big fee. Big fee. And he was a 21-year-old kid. Remember that. So forget the price tag. It's not his fault that he was bought for that kind of money. And I think what happened was, I think the media, and particularly the journalists for newspapers, I think they had made their mind up on him from the get-go. And I think they thought to themselves, do you know what? If this guy has a slow start, we're on him. We're going to be on him straight away. And I think what happened was, he did have a slow start. You know, I'd say his first couple of months were difficult. But they were onto him after a couple of games. So what happened was, everyone started looking at the papers and thinking, oh God, Caicedo, what a waste of money. Because a lot of people do that. They're casual football fans, some of them. They don't watch games week in, week out. So what they'll do is, they'll look at a newspaper outlet and think, oh, he's not doing very well. He must be shit. So I would say until October, he wasn't himself. I'd say he came in 21 years old. He's 22 now. He had a slow start. But I think from October till December, and again, Chelsea fans will know more than me. I've watched a lot of Chelsea games this season, but they would have seen every game. Same way I've seen every Arsenal game. Now, from what it seemed like to me was, from October till December, he was getting better. But the papers and the media outlets like Sky and BT, they weren't saying anything. They weren't giving him the credit that he deserved at the time, when he was actually improving. And then what happened was, I think from January until the end of the season, and for some reason there was a lot of Chelsea games on TV during that period. I think for those 5 months, I thought Caicedo was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. I will say that because no one else seems to be bigging him up. And I was seeing a guy aggressively winning the ball back, you know, high up the pitch as well. You know, he's meant to be a 6. And I think his performances, I think he was a big reason why Chelsea improved. And I think it was just something which has been going under the radar for too long now. And I think he will build on the end of the season. And I think he'll be even better next season. I think no one's really praising him. And I think it's a bit of a disgrace. I think he's 22 years of age. Not everyone can hit the ground running as quick as Declan Rice. You know, he was bought for a similar amount of money. He hit the ground running. Caicedo didn't. And because of that slow start, he's been on the receiving end of a lot of like labels such as flop. I said earlier in the video, I said, I don't think other teams realise how good Chelsea have got it right now. And if Chelsea fans still don't rate him, then I'm shocked. Because I saw a guy putting in very good performances, winning the ball back, progressing with it quickly. And it's a shame, because I think we're looking for a partner for Declan Rice at the moment. And I'm looking at players, maybe Bruno. Rodri obviously wouldn't move to us, but I think Caicedo would have been perfect. And I think his performances, I think people have made their mind up on him way too early. And where it comes to a different angle is, I think Conor Gallagher has something to do with that. And it's not his fault either. Conor Gallagher has been praised all season long. He's been unbelievable according to every single media outlet going. I think he's had a good season, Conor Gallagher. I think he's done okay. Where I'm going to split opinions a little bit now, and this is where me and my mates are fucking fighting metaphorically about Conor Gallagher. I don't think Gallagher could lace Caicedo's boots. I really don't. I think the level of player, the calibre of player Gallagher is, I don't think he will achieve anything close to Caicedo. But yet Gallagher's getting all the all the praise, and Caicedo's basically the flop. But they've spun it and they've said, oh, Caicedo got better towards the end of the season. Well, no, he's getting better from October till December. But when you look at from January till May, he wasn't just getting better, he was putting in amazing performances. Now, Conor Gallagher, for me, I might get it wrong, and that's why it's important I make these videos, because it's cool to be proved wrong sometimes, because you don't learn otherwise. I think a lot of people learn from the Havertz deal. But in my opinion, Conor Gallagher, in the next 2 or 3 years, will be playing for West Ham, Crystal Palace, and those kind of teams. And that's not a criticism. Like, do you know how difficult it is to be a Premier League midfielder for a club like West Ham and Palace? He's clearly a good player, so I'm praising him, but he's not Chelsea level. And I've grown up with Chelsea winning league titles, and a bit earlier than that they weren't winning league titles, but they were still competing. If Chelsea get to a stage where we are now, mark my words, Gallagher won't be anywhere near the team. He won't. And we had the similar problem with Smith Rowe. Everyone thought Smith Rowe was the star. And he had a very good year and a half, I'd say, Smith Rowe. But when the team started improving, that's when Smith Rowe kind of lost his way a little bit. And I think that's similar to Gallagher. I think Gallagher has had a good season in a struggling Chelsea team. But he'll be shafted very soon. I guarantee it. They're trying to sell him now. And I think Caicedo's not getting half the amount of praise as Gallagher is. And I'll tell you why, because Gallagher's English. So the media already love him because of that. And he didn't cost 150 million. But in reality, I don't know what games people have been watching. Gallagher's had a good season. But what I saw from Caicedo in the last 5 months of the season was outstanding. And Chelsea fans, anyone watching this, if they're stumbling across a Moises Caicedo video, I think you've got the real deal there. I think he's absolutely outstanding. He's not getting the credit he deserves. And I think for the way the media went after him from the get-go, and it was the get-go, I think it's pretty disgusting considering he's a 22-year-old kid, didn't ask to be signed for that kind of money. I've got to make sure I don't fall into the trap of pitying a millionaire superstar. He's on big money. He doesn't need me feeling sorry for him. But I think if we're talking in football terms, this is a guy who is still a kid, but he's a fucking unbelievable kid in terms of what he can do. I think he's got the potential to go right to the top, and I don't think Gallagher has that. And I think Caicedo has got everything in his game. He can do absolutely everything you would want from a 6 or an 8. He's a dream. And I think if Chelsea can get a decent partner for him, I don't think Enzo's necessarily the answer. I definitely don't think Gallagher's the answer. Chelsea could be a force next season. They could, and it was interesting for me to explore a video like this because I want to see if people agree with me, especially Chelsea fans. But there we are. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, very weird video to do because the Euros are literally tomorrow, but it was on my mind and I felt like it needed to be said. And it's one of those where it's dividing opinions in the friendship group, in the group chats. But yeah, let me know what you think. Is Moises Caicedo getting unfairly treated by the media, or is he an overrated flop and Gallagher is the real deal? Let me know.